So, with my programs that I have, my digital instruments, the main one that I use is Analog Lab 5, which is great. It's got amazing, well orchestrated sounds. It's very natural sounds. It's very well mixed sounds, and they are great. Apart from one problem, which is the fact that I can't change the envelopes, the oscillators, and the only things I can do really is change the brightness, the reverb, delay, time, the dynamics of it, all like knobs that you can turn that are right in front of you, but you can't go into the instrument and change like stuff like the attack. You can't change what reverb's on it. It's all like set instruments for you to mess around with, but you can't really dive in and start sound designing properly. So that's the case with like a lot of strings, a lot of pads. You'll press them on your keyboard, but the full sound won't get there until another 2 seconds. And that could be a very big problem when you're making tracks and you're like, oh, I really want this pad over it. But, it doesn't fit in or it doesn't work. So to get past that, I decided to have a look into some plugins that I could get. And one of the big things for strings and pads that I've seen just over the time that I've been into producing over, the year, the one that's always been reoccurring for me in TikToks that I see that people producing is a program called Zenology. It's a synth that has thousands of stock sounds already built in and stock instruments. But the main thing is that you can change the stuff like the oscillators, the envelopes, and that is a big thing for me, mainly because that, with my music right now, I know for a fact that I'm on this PC with this cheap audio interface with, cheap headphones, and that nothing, even though that I could make an absolute banger, the way that music is that it's a lot of it's down to the quality, the quality of the drums, quality of the instruments at hand, which is why that, even a lot of rap tracks, they're got live recorded instruments. A great example of this can be like Tyler the Creator, Kendrick, Rod Wave. They use very, natural and very nice sounding sounds. So with Zenology, it created this big bank of well sounding instruments that I can use and I can test around with and just learn. I could just, like I said, mess around. And I think I spent more time just going through all the banks of sounds and messing around with it, finding my favourite ones, finding ones that I stick in my head, It's like, oh, if I ever want this sound, this is the kind of pad that I'd want, and like just really exploring and understanding it. And with that, I decided to make 2 tracks from the primary research that I already did on Zenology of just messing around with it. And I created 2 tracks called Langus and Flute. They're both very interesting tracks. They're very different. Flute was just mainly to test out the flute leads that they had, mainly because flutes as a melody are very reoccurring in rap music, and there's a lot of songs with flutes in it, like After Party by Don Toliver. There's a Future song I can't remember the name of, but I know that it uses a flute and it's a very famous song. I think it's like On God or something along that lines. But I created those 2 tracks to really practice using Zenology in a bigger scale picture of actually making the tracks. And I was very happy with both of the tracks. I thought they were 2 tracks that were some of the best that I've done. Langus uses a drum pattern that I took from a Kendrick deconstructed kit, which is the recipe. It's just the drum loop from the recipe with a bunch of the instruments on top. It does create this kind of like, there's this deconstructed sound with a couple frequencies missing, with this very nice sounding, perfectly fine instruments that are on top of it, which does create this kind of clash. But apart from that, I was really happy with how the songs turned out. I was very happy with the exploring I did of Zenology, and I was very happy with the fact that I could create 2 songs out of it. They're personally songs that I thought that are not industry level, they're nothing professional. They're definitely songs that if I gave myself the time and effort into those specific songs, it could definitely turn out better. But again, this project isn't now making an EP and working on those specific songs. It's how many songs I can make and how much I can improve over the time, which is what I talk about in the week 4 evaluation. But yeah, I was very happy with how this research went. I thought it was great, and I was very, very happy with it.